Today's topic of discussion is what is the cause of depression and how to overcome depression. First of all, we have to understand that we are originally from the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, everybody is the servant of Krishna. Everybody is the servant of Krishna in the spiritual world. But some of us don't want to be the servant of Krishna. We want to become the lords. We want to become the lords. Then Krishna will send us to this material world to lord it over the material nature. Actually, we have fallen down to this material world from the spiritual world because we want to become the lords. We want to become the lords. So, as soon as we come to this material world, we come under the influence of modes of material nature. There are three modes. Modes means qualities. There are three modes, namely mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Now we shall see what are those qualities in mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. You see, this is explained here, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:25-5. See, when we are in mode of passion, we develop these qualities. You see, what is it? Material desire, great endeavor, audacity, dissatisfaction even in gain, false pride, praying for material advancement, considering oneself different and better than others, sense gratification, rash eagerness to fight, a fondness for hearing oneself praised, a tendency to ridicule others, advertising one's prowess, and justifying one's actions by one's strength are the qualities of the mode of passion. See, these are the qualities in mode of ignorance. Here, intolerant anger, stinginess, speaking without scriptural authority, violent hatred, living as a parasite, hypocrisy, chronic fatigue, quarrel, lamentation, delusion, unhappiness, depression. You see, unhappiness and depression are the qualities in the mode of ignorance. Sleeping too much, sleeping too much, false expectations, fear and laziness constitute the major qualities of mode of ignorance. You see, unhappiness and depression. So, we fall into depression when we are in the mode of ignorance or mode of passion. When we are in mode of ignorance or mode of passion, we fall into depression. You see, here, dissatisfaction even in gain. This is also one of the qualities when we are in depression. So we fall into depression or we come under depression when we are in mode of passion or mode of ignorance. So now we shall see what are the qualities in mode of goodness. You see, this is explained here. You see here. Mind and sense control. You see, mind and sense control. Tolerance, discrimination, sticking to one's prescribed duties, truthfulness, mercy, careful study of the past and future, satisfaction in any condition, generosity, renunciation of sense gratification, faith in spiritual master, being embarrassed at improper action, charity, simplicity, humbleness, and satisfaction within oneself are the qualities of the mode of goodness. You see, if we want to come out of depression, we have to come to the platform of mode of goodness. You see, when we are in the mode of goodness, we can control our mind. You see, we can control. When we are in the mode of goodness, we can control our mind. Mind and sense control is the quality of the mode of goodness. Satisfaction. You see, we fall into depression when we are not satisfied. So satisfaction is a so when we come to mode of goodness, we are satisfied in any condition. So and And one more thing, you see, we are satisfied in any condition. So, simplicity, you see, simplicity is also a quality of goodness. And then satisfaction with oneself is also the quality of goodness. So, to come out of depression, we have to come to the platform of mode of goodness. When we are satisfied with ourselves, we can come out of depression. Depression means we are not satisfied. We are not satisfied with ourselves, with our actions. We for the, we are always in lamentation, in when we are in depression. So to come out of this depression, we have to come to the platform of mode of goodness. You see the qualities of the modes in passion and ignorance is also explained here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 7:15, 43, 44. In the conditioned stage, one's conceptions of life are sometimes polluted by passion and ignorance, which are exhibited by attachment, hostility, greed, lamentation, illusion, fear, madness, false prestige, insults, fault finding, deception, envy, intolerance, passion, bewilderment, hunger, and sleep. All these are enemies. Sometimes one's conceptions are also polluted by goodness. You see, when we are in passion and ignorance, we develop all these qualities, all these bad qualities. We also fall into depression. So, to come out of the depression, to overcome the depression, we have to come to the platform of mode of goodness. The next point is how to come to the platform of mode of goodness. You see, by developing mode of goodness, we can come out of mode of ignorance and passion. This is explained here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:13:1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, pertain to the material intelligence, not to the spirit soul. By development of material goodness, one can conquer the modes of passion and ignorance. And by cultivation of transcendental goodness, one may free oneself even from the mode of goodness. You see, by development of material goodness, one can conquer mode of passion and ignorance. That means by cultivating material goodness, we can transcend the mode of passion and ignorance. We can come out of the modes of passion and ignorance. And by cultivating transcendental goodness, one can free oneself even from mode of goodness. By cultivating transcendental goodness, one can free oneself even from the material goodness. See, this is how we can overcome these qualities in modes of passion and ignorance. This depression is also one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. It is explained here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:1-10. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. You see, always disturbed in Kali Yuga. People are always disturbed, which is one of the symptoms of depression. Now, how to develop the mode of goodness? Till now, we understood that mode of passion. When we are in mode of passion and ignorance, we fall into depression. We come under depression. So, to overcome or to transcend the modes of passion and ignorance, we have to develop mode of goodness. So now we shall understand how to develop the mode of goodness. This is explained here, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 7:15-25. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness. You see, by developing mode of goodness, we can conquer mode of passion and ignorance, and then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Tattva. We can transcend the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Tattva. Shuddha Tattva means transcendental goodness. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. You see, all these can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. That means what? By engaging in devotional service, we can conquer the modes. By engaging in devotional service, we can conquer mode of passion and ignorance and come to the platform of goodness. By continuing to practice this devotional service, we can even transcend the mode of goodness and come to the platform of Shuddha Tattva or transcendental goodness. Engaging in the service of the spiritual master means we have to follow his instruction. That is, his instructions is we have to engage in devotional service. Service of the spiritual master means we have to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. You see, when one engages in full devotional service, unfailing on all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and comes to the level of Brahman. Transcends the modes of material nature. What is that? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. We can transcend the modes and come to the level of Brahman. Brahman means Shuddha Tattva, that is transcendental goodness. We can come to the platform of transcendental goodness by practicing the devotional service. See, as soon as we come to the platform of transcendental goodness, then what happens? It is explained here. 18.54. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. You see, we become completely happy. Once we transcend the modes, we become completely happy. That means we can come out of the depression. We become completely happy. By practicing devotional service, we can transcend the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness and come to the platform of transcendental goodness. Once we are situated on the transcendental goodness, we become completely happy. We become completely happy. He never laments or desires anything. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. You see, there is no lamentation and hankering. Once we come to the platform of pure goodness, we don't fall into depression. Once we come to the platform of pure goodness or even goodness, we don't fall into depression. We become completely joyful. We become completely happy. So, this is the process of how to come to the platform of goodness. By practicing devotional service, we can transcend the modes and we can come out of the depression. We become completely happy. Now we shall understand what is that process of devotional service. See, this is explained here. What is that process? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 5.88 purport. From this we can understand how we have to be very cautious in executing our spiritual duties by observing the rules and regulations and regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we neglect doing this, we will eventually fall down. We must rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangala Arati, worship the deities, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, study the Vedic literature and follow all the rules prescribed by the acharyas and the spiritual master. If we deviate from these poses, we may fall down, even though we may be very highly advanced. You see, this is the process of devotional service. We have to rise early in the morning. We have to rise early in the morning, bathe, attend Mangalarti, worship the deities, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Every day we have to rise early in the morning. This is the process of devotional service. Every day we have to rise early in the morning, take bath, attend Mangalarti, worship the deities and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Every day we have to chant 16 rounds. This is very important, you see. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very important. Every day we have to chant 16 rounds. And then study the Vedic literatures and follow the rules prescribed by the acharyas and the spiritual masters. Study the Vedic literature, Vedic literatures like Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana. You should study every day. We should at least give some time in our free time instead of watching TV or instead of watching this internet, Facebook, all these. We have to give some time to read all these Vedic literatures. This is the process. This is the process of devotional service. Every day we have to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Every day we have to rise early, take bath, attend Manglarti, worship the deities, and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds and follow the 4 principles. And also in our free time we should read our Vedic literatures, especially Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. All this we have to read, we have to listen, we have to understand the pastimes of the Lord. When we study the Vedic literature, what is the result is also explained here, you see, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1-17. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, Super Soul, in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. You see, when we every day read this Vedic literature, then what happens? Krishna himself takes the responsibility to clean our heart. You see, Krishna himself takes the responsibility to clean our heart every day when we read his pastimes, when we listen to his pastimes from this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or any other Vedic literature. Then what happens? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1-18. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering a service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. You see, if we develop this quality of reading these Vedic literatures every day, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. When we are reading these pastimes of the Lord every day, when we practice this, all that is troublesome to the heart is destroyed. There are many things in our heart which is giving problems to us. All this will be completely destroyed. Krishna himself take the responsibility of cleaning our heart. Once we start listening or hearing to his, reading his pastimes, then next what happens? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1-19. As soon as this irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance such as lust, hankering disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. You see, all this disappears. All the mode of passion and mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance is completely destroyed. All this disappear from our heart. The qualities of mode of passion and ignorance disappear heart. When we practice this, when we develop this quality of hearing to the Lord every day, hearing about the Lord every day, all these qualities of mode of passion and ignorance will disappear from our heart. You see, lust, desire and hankering, everything will disappear. All the bad qualities will also disappear from the heart. Our depression will also disappear from our heart. Then the devotee, then what happens? Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. You see, then he becomes completely happy. As soon as these qualities of passion and ignorance disappear from our heart, we become completely happy. Our depression also completely disappears. We can overcome the depression by practicing devotional service and by hearing about the pastimes of the Lord every day. We become completely happy. Next, what happens? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1-20. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, The man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. See, this is the process. By practicing devotional service, we can come out of the depression. We can overcome the depression. This is the process. This is the process. We become completely happy. With this, I would like to end the discussions. Hare Krishna.